everyone. It's Friday, and that means it's time for Muppin Sewing Emporium. How are you doing tonight? I am wonderfully well. I hope you are all having a fantastic week. I have had a week. That's about all I'm going to say about that. It's been super crazy here in Muppin Land. We are live to you through the power of the internet here in beautiful downtown Paducah, Kentucky. And I have to say, we have finally somewhat tiny bit recovered from Quilt Week. For those of you who are not in Paducah during Quilt Week, I just got to tell you, you should come to Paducah during Quilt Week. It is quite the event. And one of the things I will tell you about, hello, Laura. Laura's here. One of the things I will tell you about Quilt Week is that unlike other shows, and there are plenty of other quilt shows in the world, Paducah is different. And the reason it's different is because there's the show, and then right next to the show is downtown Paducah, and it's a historic Main Street district. And what happens is that the show spills out into the rest of Paducah. And hey, Candy is here. Hello. It spills out into the rest of the town, and there is no other quilt show. No other show is like this one. And the reason for that is because there's so much to do all over the rest of the town. So there are pop-up shops, there's the businesses like mine, like Hancock's of Paducah, and all of the other big name brand businesses here in Paducah. And there are quite a few name brand companies here in Paducah. So you have to almost see it to believe it. You have to come here and see it, is what I'm saying. So we're here live to you through the power of the internet. We're gonna have a lot of fun today. Mr. Spooky is here. You know, I actually did have somebody ask me in my shop during Quilt Week, where is Mr. Spooky? And I was like, well, he's on the set. So now I don't know if I should get into Mr. Spooky to be out on the show floor. We have a lot to show you tonight. I have one thing in particular I want to show you, and that is we have a brand new shopping cart. Brand new. Now, I will say, if you have shopped with us before, get ready. It's brand new. And here's the best part. This is the part you all have been waiting for. Everything in the shop, with only minor exceptions, everything in the shop is online now. I know. You heard me. So let's take a look here. We're going to pop this bad boy up. Oh, I don't like that. Let's do it that way. Yes, this is our brand new shopping cart. So it is our whole new website. Even we have the this Quilt Week little note here that says thank you for visiting us during Quilt Week. And this is of course a picture of what the shop looks like. Or at least it was what the shop looked like before Quilt Week. It does not look like this anymore. It's actually, well, it's of course, it's a lot better. Now, if you scroll down on the main page, you're going to see a lot of the categories. You have our branded products, which I know you all love and you need. And let me tell you, we have some new stuff coming. You are not going to want to miss this stuff. It is chef's kiss. So we have the Muppin brand products right up front. We also, of course, are letting you choose from our pre-cut fabrics. So we now we now have fabric online. We do have still a skull category, so an entire category of everything skull. And our heirloom category, which I know you all appreciate, love. That would be the heirloom smocking template, the smocking book, which guess what's back in stock? The smocking book is back in stock. All of our notions, including our world famous notion wall, is online. And we have a general quilting category. We also have a gift category. And many of you may not know that we are here in Paducah. We get a lot of tourists. And so we have that. And we also have a thread category. You heard me right. Thread category. And of course, our cosplay category as well. Ooh, Laurel says she loves the new online shop. Thank you, Laurel. I appreciate you. How are you doing down there in Texas? Is it getting hot there yet? Because it got hot here, and I don't like it. Paducah, I know, doesn't seem like it would be the hotbed of hot weather, but it is. It is very warm here this week. So we do have this beautiful gift category, cosplay, and of course thread. And down here at the bottom, if you have not yet joined our email club, you need to do that because the very first thing you get from us is the ability to log in to our very own secret page, our secret society. So if you want to be part of that, if you want to be part of our secret league of superstar sewists, you need to head on over to this website. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to drop this into the comments so that you can grab that for yourself. You can just click right on it. And when you click on that, you will get, oops, I hid the wrong thing. You will get our access to that secret page. And that secret page is going to give you patterns and websites and all kinds of things to do, which is awesome and amazing. So you get our secret email and you get a secret, be part of our secret club. So the shopping cart, let's take a look. Let's take a tour of that. We've got, of course, the Muppin brand products. Let's click on that. We've got, of course, we have an item that doesn't have a picture. That would be, that's par for the course here. All of our fantastic products, everything that you have come to know and love from us, including our get to the point heirloom needles. And can I just tell you, this is something I want to tell you about, which is really, really cool in our new shopping cart, is that look at this option right here. You get to pick up in store if you want to. Like, how cool is that? You can click on to pick up in the store, and we will have it ready for you and put aside. We have already done that. We have gotten orders like that, which is like the best and so cool. So here is the needles. And of course, this is another thing that my older shopping cart system did not have, and that was some recommended items for you, including the Mind Your Own beeswax, which we just got a huge restock on from Dad. So thank you, Dad, for that. And so that was something our old shopping cart did not do, which I really wished that it did. Now, in the fabric category, I just got to dip in here so that you can see some of the amazing things that we do have. We have the brand new Spooky and Witchy. This just launched. Like it is literally minutes old. And I have to tell you, some of this fabric is so elegantly goth. I think you're going to appreciate just how like uh pretty it is. So I don't know if you can see, but like there's this orange one on the top there. Um, that one is really, really pretty. So is these florals. They're like spooky florals. They're just so cool. And you can now get any of the fabrics that come in a bundle, you can get from us. So we do have a little bit left of the Tilda chambray and dots, and we have the teeny tiniest amount left of Tilda's pie in the sky. We have a couple layer cakes left of pie in the sky. But let me tell you, like, this stuff is sold out everywhere. Everybody's telling me, oh, I can't believe you still have this. I can't, it's sold out everywhere. And that, yes, it's true. It is sold out everywhere. The other one that you can't get is the Tilda Pie in the Sky jelly roll. I think I only got one left. So, yep, it even says that right there, which is great for you when you're shopping, right? Because it tells you when we're going to run low. Hello, Debbie. How are you? So I like to know that if I'm going to decide on it, if I'm going to like think about picking this up, or if I'm going to, come back to it later, like that tells me I might not want to wait because there's only one left. We do still have a small amount of Everglow in stock. But one of the things we do have is the mega 1 yard bundle. Now it's hefty and it is pricey, but if you missed out so far on Tula Pink Everglow, we got a 1 yard cut of everything in stock. So that we do have for those of you who are in the Tula troops. We still have that in stock. May not be by the time you rewatch this video, but for right now, we have it. So some really fun stuff, but I cannot say enough. Remember a couple of weeks before Quilt Week, I came on here about all of our panels. Our panels are all here and online. So if you had wanted to pick up one of these panels from us, from a previous video, like the Stomp Stomp Roar panel, like with the little dinosaur pillows. They're so cute. We still have these in stock. Don't wait, because these are hot sellers in our shop. We've already ordered a couple of these more than once. My new like adorable favorite is got to be the See in Me book panel. This is really super cute. And as you can see, we only have 4 left in stock. This little panel is super interactive. It's a lot more interactive than just a standard book. I really like it. I think you're going to like it. I was able to whip this up in just a couple of hours and a little bit of batting. You really don't need a lot in order to put this together. It calls for all kinds of interfacing. I didn't use that. Anyway, $14 for that panel. And then, we've got everything that we can like smush into here. I do have, again, I've got Elixir Fat Eighths. I've got those in stock. I've got a couple of layer cakes, jelly rolls, of a couple of Ruby Star Society fabrics. So I am in a unique position here in Kentucky, in Paducah, where I get to pick the fabrics that aren't really carried by the other shops in town. And this one right here is going to be one that is a pretty good example of that. And that is these are wovens. And so these little pluses that you see on this fabric, they are woven into the fabric. So not only does it have like that woven feel, and that woven texture in your quilt, but the little plus signs are all little, they're wovens as well. I think you're gonna love this. We keep selling out of these bundles, so I keep making more, and but that is limited, right? I will only be able to do that for so much. So um anyway, the shopping cart process is pretty simple. Once you add something to your shopping cart, you just click on continue to payment, and then it asks you to fill out your information, and you can choose all of that. And it's literally that simple. And I love the new like one page checkout. It's really super convenient. I really like it. I dig the website. I think it looks really clean, really it looks really cool, and we're really happy with the feedback that you guys have given us about our new website. So I mean, our website is still up. Like, you can go to muppin.com still, and you can still see all the stuff from me on there. So all my classes, all my stuff. So that part's all still there. But the website, the shopping cart part, um, this is really cool. Now, one of the things I will say that this did for us is this made our online inventory and our in-store inventory all together. So now we no longer have to worry about updating one or the other when we sell something. Everything in our store and everything online, it's all together. Now, here's one more thing I want to show you before I disappear off of this page here. But we have been carrying in store the vintage state flower blocks that I have been collecting from my collection, and I have now been able to find and sell the iron-on transfers from Aunt Martha's. So if you are familiar with the Aunt Martha iron-on transfers, we are now carrying them. We also not just have the state flowers for you to embroider, but we also have the state birds, as you can see here. So you can do all of the state birds. And we have the hexagon 50 state Americana quilt. So, you know, these are really a lot of fun if you are a traveler, if you are on your, if you are traveling a lot and you need a project to take with you. So this was, you know, the reasoning, the thought behind that. But we have been carrying the vintage blocks in the store, and surprise, people are like, can I get the patterns? And we were like, oh my gosh, yes. Yay, thank you, Crystal. Woo! Thank you for your order, and also thank you for letting us know how easy it was to use this. So yeah, we've had so many people requesting the iron-on transfer patterns that I went and found the company that makes them and asked them, do you still sell these? And they said, yes, of course we do. And now you can get them directly from us. So I'm pretty excited about that. But of course, all of our other heirloom stuff, including all the kanzashi makers, yo-yos, beeswax, you name it, we've got it. It's all here. my friends. I can't, this is so cool. So, so that's it. That's what we have in that for that. So, all right. So, let's do this. Let's zoom in. You don't need to see the mess on every side of here. So, come on. Anyway, so we've got, what else do we got going on? Oh, right. I am working currently on a binding for a quilt. All right. Let's get this. There we go. Focus. Focus with me. All right. So I'm working on the binding of this quilt, and this quilt is going to be it's going to be in my shop. I'm gonna put this in my shop. Now I've been as you can see, I've got my clips on here. I know that everybody does binding differently, and I've been doing bindings for a while, and this is what I do. This is a new quilt pattern that's coming out soonish, and it is it's biscuits. And if you're like, what is a biscuit quilt? Well, these are the biscuits, and there's stuffing in there. Yes, there is stuffing in there. And so this is my modern biscuit quilt, and they're just so fun. Um, so I've got my my binding needle, which is just one of our needles. That's what we're using, and I've got my edge here, which you know I don't necessarily feel like I ever sew my binding on particularly straight, but what happens is when I get to this point, it always seems to work out and looks fine. So take that for what it is. I only have like a corner and a half left to do. So there's the end. So I've got this corner and like this much left to go. So I figured I would get some of this done while we're here and while we're chatting. So, sorry. Before I get to this though, let me do one more thing. I got one more thing for you. All right. Boy, the table's really dirty. Quilt week was insanity. And I've been able to go and find a couple of things that I think you will all enjoy. This one especially, I did not find this one. My husband found these. As you know, we like to go thrifting, and we occasionally will go and find some rather sewing or quilting related ones. This one is an iron, but it's teeny tiny, as you can see. It's very small, but it has the mechanism for the top to remove so that this part here can be heated and this part stays cool. This is probably not a child iron. It is probably not, or this is probably a child iron. This is probably not a salesman sample. A lot of the salesman samples are much smaller. They're really teeny tiny. So this is probably a child's iron. As you can see, it's been pretty worn. Lots of scratches on it. So, somebody was using it on something. And so this section you would heat in, your fireplace or on your potbelly stove. And then when you're ready to iron, you would just snap that on and attach it with the little lever. And then you would go and you would iron. I mean, it's tiny for our hands. It's not so tiny for a child. Yes, children did iron and iron with hot irons. back in the day. They just had to learn how to be careful like the rest of us. So this, it could be a toy. I doubt it, but it could be a toy iron. But it's pretty heavy, so that makes me think it was not a toy. And it is also, these small irons were really handy for women to do small areas like cuffs and collars and things that were frilly. So they would use a small iron for that. So I would think that it is a usable iron, one that would have been heated up and actually used. So pretty cool item. My husband has that eagle eye now. This was the other thing that we found, and I thought this was really cool. And it's a vintage needle book. The 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 paper that's been used on the outside here is really nice. But this is a giveaway item, and so this is from Fashion Frocks Incorporated, Cincinnati, Ohio. Somebody wrote something here, and it's hard to decipher decipher what that said. The It says selling exclusively from maker to home. I don't know if you can really see that. It's kind of tiny. But in that little tiny wording there, it says selling exclusively from maker to home, a style service for discriminating women. These needles may not be original to this package, which is fine, but there was this needle booklet here, and I just wanted to show you these because this is what I wanted it for. These needles are warranted to excel all other brands in finish and quality. The eyes are beveled and gauged, thereby making sewing much easier. So, and then you can see the little apple core pieces here. And then right underneath it says best in the world. Best in the world. And so here's one of their needles. This one's been used because, man, look at that bend. Someone got a really good bend in that needle. So this one may not have been original to it. But it does look like there are a couple pushed down in the packaging. So there might be one in here that's original to the package, but more than likely not, which is just fine. I don't buy it for the needle. I buy it for this stuff, right? These needles are warranted to excel all other brands in finish and quality. So yeah, nickel plated, sharpened sun. And then there's the size 3 through 9. Czechoslovakia is where these needles were made. My last name is Sloboda, is Czech. And then you have August Thomas's needle threader. And oh, look, it's still in there. And it has the red paint on it still. And it is stamped along the bottom there. Along the bottom there, it is stamped Czechoslovakia. So, these were probably imported from Czechoslovakia. And then, these companies could have placed their information on there as part of what they were offering. But this little needle book, I'll let you guess how much I paid for this. The needle book. Go ahead and guess in the comments how much you think I paid for the needles. Because that's a pretty cool item. Now this, I have to say, this was the Eagle Eye find from my husband. He really he tells me that it's the blue of the box that got him. I thought this was like so more is pretty awesome. This is, as you can guess, a tin for an attachment of the sew more attachment that would have been a sewing machine attachment for um and but what was in it was like crazy. Cam is guessing $2 for the needles, so keep guessing in there. I would like to hear what you guys think your guesses are. So I haven't opened this box since I bought it. I wanted to take this stuff out and talk about what some of this stuff is. And this, my friends, if you have not guessed, is a ruffler. This is a ruffling foot. It is, there's the US patent right on it. This is the good old-fashioned ruffler. They still make them exactly like this. And it says right on the side of it, hard to see there, it says great ruffler. The great ruffler. And so how does this work? Well, here is where it attaches to the sewing machine, and right under here is where the feed dogs go. And what happens is this bar gets attached to your needle bar. And so as your needle bar goes up and down, okay, you can hear it clicking. Okay, what happens is this needle bar goes up and down as your feed dogs are going, and it's going to do so many stitches before it then takes this part here and shunts the fabric under the feed dogs, thereby making a pleat. And so technically the ruffler is a pleater. So I know you're probably like, but Cheryl, they tell me, no, I'm telling you right now, the ruffler is technically a pleater. So as you can see, the bar goes, as you click it, as it goes up and down, right? It goes through these little things, and then it gets to however many, and then it does the big shunt. And that's, it keeps going. So that's how it works. It is a ruffler. No. This is a buttonholer. And so this is a buttonhole attachment. So this is pretty neat to see. Again, you would put it on here, and it would basically, you put your button over here and it will sew until it hits this point, and then it will turn. You'll be able to turn your work and sew in the opposite direction that to make the button hole. So that's pretty cool. Oh, okay. This is a binder. And what you do, this is actually almost like similar to a rolled hem attachment. But as you can see, instead of doing the rolled hem like that has the whirligig on the front, this is where you would insert the two sides of the hem tape, and then you would feed the fabric in the middle, and it would bind all together. That's really neat. That's a cool attachment. Okay. So we've got this is a Singer foot. I believe this is a zipper foot. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know. This is like a single hole plate, I think. Some of these I don't know what they are. Okay, here's the usually we all know, like, this is a quilting bar. So what you do is you attach this to your foot, and what you can do is you can adjust this. And what you're supposed to do is, like, as you are making your quilting, you're supposed to line your other edge of your quilting in, like, so that your next row is evenly spaced, and you can adjust this. So you probably have one of these on your modern machine. Here is the rolled hem foot. They call it a narrow hemmer. That's pretty neat. Thought there were more than one of those in here. Here's also a second hemmer, same idea. You can see that you just you put the fabric in here and fold it over, and it will self-feed in as you sew. I believe this is another one. Yep, and that was the narrow hemmer. Now we've got the regular hemmer. So you can see right on there it says hemmer. Somebody had quite the attachment collection of attachments here. Here is a piece. I'm trying to see the name brand on it. It's hard to read it. I don't even know what that is. I have to ask my friend who has a machine repair business. She would know all these feet. That you get is straight hemmer or straight foot. Here is another foot. I don't know. Huh. Maybe this had some other part to it. Yay, another hemmer. Wow, how many hemmers did this person have? Here's another hemmer. Here's probably a piece that goes to the other piece. Like would attach in here somehow. Because it does look like the screw is the correct size. But more than likely, this was an edger, so that when you sewed, you would bump your fabric up against it. You would probably put this into one of the holes. All kinds of cool stuff. Oh, this is some piece that is part of an attachment. Edge stitcher. That's cool. And the last of the hemmer collection. There's a lot of hemmers in there. And then just a random needle and some junk. All right. So this was a cool find. Not bad. They're all just going to go back and live in this box. This wide hemmer is just, it's cracking me up. Right. All right, so Cam, you guessed $2. I paid 50 cents for the needle book. And like this right here, just that alone, I thought was worth 50 cents. So 50 cents. Can't beat it. My husband has a very good eye when it comes to this stuff. So I think I'll keep him. All right, so back to my project here. So this has got some of the worst quilting I've ever done in my life on it. I know you're probably like, no, Cheryl, you can't. Yeah, no, I will tell you, this is pretty bad. I am often told that I am not a great quilter, and that's okay. I don't have to be. Let me see what these other options do. Oh no, we don't want that. We don't want that. Oh, that's better. Maybe we'll stick with this for a while. Okay. So as you can see, how I do a single fold hem. Not very many people do. A lot of people do a double fold. I cut my binding 1.5 inches. And I know that there's like some of you who are like, oh my God, 1.5 inches? That does not seem right. Well, I do 1.5 inches. And the reason I do is because I just do a single fold. The one edge gets caught up here in right there on the edge of the fabric, and then I will fold in the raw edge, fold it over, and just attach it. And it's plenty for my quilts. Your mileage may vary because you may have quilts that you need to do with a stronger binding. So I do 1.5 inches. Again, that I know that's not good for everybody. If your binding needs to be bigger, I say make it bigger or wider. If it needs to be a double fold for strength, that's awesome. I do not. Mine are mostly going to be samples that are hung up in my shop or in my booth as I travel. And so that's where they're going to go. If you did miss the review of our new website, you should go check that out. Our website's scrolling along there at the bottom, shop.muppin.com. And I had used the previous shopping cart software for a really long time. But I'm very happy with the new one, especially since both my e-commerce and my regular are put together. So, all right. So here we got this binding. Now, look, this is not 1/4 of an inch, right? And sometimes my binding, I really try to just make sure my binding's super even on the front. That's why here on the back it can get like a little wavy looking. I am in the category of done is better than perfect. So I would rather have this done than have it be like some sort of perfect masterpiece. This is never going to be entered into a show. This is a sample quilt. It is, yes, of course, to get you to think about buying the pattern, right? So in that respect, it has to be a good quilt. But no one is going to turn over my binding and go, "Oh, what did you do? How dare you?" Yeah, that's just and if someone does that to you, you just go, "I unfriend you," because you don't. Nobody needs that. Now, one of the things that I know many of you have been taught to sew over the years, right? Like you've been like some of you can't probably even remember when you were taught to sew, or how you were taught to hold your needle, because it's one of those things that's supposed to be like natural or ingrained in you. Like you just do it, and that's why my needles are the way they are. I like to have more than one finger on the needle, but I also, because it's longer, I can get more than one finger on it when I pull. And that is reducing the amount of strain in here and in here. So longer needles are better. The other thing about a needle that's this long, and when I was taught to sew, right, I would sew like this with my pinky in the air, right? And I would just so daintily just sew away with my pinky up until I injured my hand with excess sewing. And they were like, "Oh no, you need to bring the rest of your fingers in order to make your hand um more comfortable when you're doing this motion. If you have all your fingers out like this, right? I can even feel it now. There's more strain here on this part of my hand. So by having my fingers in, right? There's less um muscle tension in my hand. The other thing is that I can use all my fingers. With a longer needle, I can get more fingers on that needle and I'm able to grip it a little bit better. If I have to, and I get tired, you get your needle pullers out and you grab these things and you put them on, right? I don't need to do that yet. I've only been sewing for like a half a second here. Another thing is that I just got myself a really awesome hand massage device for being able to like take care of your hands, because when you work with your hands, you got to take care of them. And that's a really cool device. I'm gonna bring that. I'll bring that on next week for you guys to see, because it's pretty cool. Yeah. So, this is how I do my binding. And I know everybody, there are people who absolutely hate to do binding. I like binding. It's like the finale, and I enjoy it because this means it's almost done. Right, it does, right? It's like this is the part that means you're close to the finish line. So it doesn't bother me as much as other people. Like there are people who are like, I like every part but the binding. I like the binding. Does not bother me. So as I'm going along, as you can see, we've got, I'm just trying to make sure it stays consistently on the front. Ooh, good question, Laurel. Did I happen to order Tula's nightshade line? Because if I did, I won't look for it anywhere else. Yes, ma'am. We did. And as a matter of fact, we also ordered so that would be the Deja Vu nightshade line. And that is the line that is like in the comic book world, we call it a repop. That's what they call it in the comic book world. They call it a repop. And what that means is they have taken the line and they have recolored it. And I believe she's added like two new fabrics. But yes, we are getting the Tula Pink line. And we are also getting Pretty Creepy, which is the Cora Dantini's Halloween line. And we're also getting Rachel Hauer's Halloween line. And the Rachel Hauer line is her line is the one, she is Tula Pink's tattoo artist. So Tula Pink's tattoo artist has a fabric line coming out for Halloween, and it's called Storybook Halloween. And that one is coming into the shop also. So you're going to want to check for both of those because they're going to be amazing. And I'm pretty excited about them. So yeah, it's good times here in the fabric. Yeah, right? Like it is cool. I mean, I did not expect I will say that the fabric there are so many fabric lines, and it is like impossible to carry them all unless you're the size of whatchamacallit, Hancock's. And even Hancock's can't carry it all. And Hancock's doesn't carry it all. So that's why we like to pick up certain lines, from certain designers. So that's pretty exciting. But I gotta say, like, it is hard as a very small shop, and I mean small. Those of you who have not been in our shop, let me just take this moment, this PSA moment here, okay? Let's go. Camera, work with me. Doot, doot, doot. No, I don't want you to zoom out. Here, let me get this. All right. There we go. Come on. I know you want to work. This is technology at its best, right? It's like supposed to do this thing, and it does not want to do it. Come on. Let's go. No. How about there? What's that? Oh, it did it. All right. This is my little PSA. We are a tiny shop. We're small. We're maybe 500 square feet. Like we might even be just a hair bigger than that. The folks who come in here, 9 times out of 10, they think we are the old Quilt in a Day building when with Eleanor Burns. That shop and that building next door was 3,000 square feet. We are 500 square feet. So when people come in and they're like, is this it? It's starting to get a little old. I will say about this is only like 1 out of 10 customers. Because I can't even say it's like 1 out of 50, and I can't even say it's 1 out of 100, right? But the fact that it's like 1 out of 10 is it's starting to weigh on me. I get that we're small, but we're a boutique. And really, if I could, I would only carry my own products. So, there's that. But the fact is we do have some fabric. So then, of course, they're like, "Where's the fabric?" And I'm like, "It's right. It's right there. It's right there." And they're like, "But is there more? Is there more upstairs? Is there more down the hall? Is there more?" And I'm like, "No, there is not any more fabric. This is it." So, yeah. So when you come in and you say those kinds of things to me, I might get this look. It's hard to deciding what to order, although I knew you would have these kinds of fabrics I can't find other places, and that is true. One of the very important things, and what I felt was important to me, was to carry things you can't find anywhere else, like the wovens, like the diamond wovens. They are definitely not anything you can find anywhere else. And the art gallery fabrics, which is a smaller company, when it comes to fabric. I mean, yes, we carry Tula Pink, but we also carry art gallery fabrics, and we carry peppered cottons, and we carry Tilda, and we carry what we can carry. So I know that you will find something. Everybody will find something they love in our shop. And the people who don't, that's okay. We are not the shop for everybody. Which is which is awesome. So I'm pretty excited about how our shop looks. One of the things I can tell you, we do hear from each of you who do come through the store, "Oh, you have a lovely shop. Your shop is so cute. What an adorable shop." We do hear that a lot, and that makes me so happy because we really worked hard to make it awesome. Now, I will also say that, that's why the cutting comments, I feel like they cut deeper. But it is because I take it very personally because it's personal to me. And there's a scene in You've Got Mail where she says, um, everybody says it's not personal, it's just business. But to her, it was personal. To me, it's personal. Um, if you know me, you know I've got a lot of feelings in about You've Got Mail and that movie. Um, it was, I don't know, there was something about it that makes me really feel good. That movie. I know it's a stupid rom-com, but it's really one of my favorites. And I have to say, I am also a big fan of the movie that You've Got Mail is based on, which is called Shop Around the Corner. And I always loved the movie Shop Around the Corner because I wanted to be the shop around the corner. So, um, yeah. So I like both those movies. And I like that our little shop is, we're in a historic Main Street district. We are the shop around the corner. Technically, we are not on the main street. We're on the side street, and that's okay. Because the properties were cheaper. But it was also next door to the old Quilt in a Day building, and we are in direct sight of the National Quilt Museum. So there. And so that's pretty exciting. And yeah, it's a cool place. If you have not yet come to Paducah, you should. It's a lot of fun. It is a cute little Main Street town, and it has plenty of other stuff too. National Quilt Museum, of course. There's quilting here year round. Surprise. There are a couple quilting retreats that are being put together, so that's pretty exciting. And people are always asking me, when are you going to start teaching classes? And I am working on that. I'm working hard on that. We got to find a space to hold it because, of course, my shop's only 500 square feet. So we've got to have a place to do the classes, and we can absolutely find somewhere in town to do that. So very excited about getting that worked out. So, Laurel, I have just been in awe of what you have done with the shop. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I do appreciate that. That's awesome. It is a labor, but it's a labor of love. And we were doing all of this anyway. We were running our mail order business. We were doing video production. We were doing all of this stuff. We just now have it all on one level. And we will live upstairs, which is awesome. And I've always wanted to have like the little apartment above my shop. I thought that would always have been cool. And so, yeah, we're pretty excited about the 2 floors that are upstairs. So, and that process is going to take some time. They're already telling us that it's going to take a while. So we're in for it on that front. So we're getting ready. We're gearing up for it. Lots of fun though, I mean, we got to, what good is it if we're not having fun? And so, yeah. And pretty soon we will be having Mr. Max back for his visit during the summer. So we're pretty excited about that. He's about to finish up his grade number 6. And that's been very exciting for us to anticipate. So awesome. Look at the time, my friends. It is now nearly 8 o'clock. And with that, I need to go. My friends, you are so awesome. I hope you all have a magical, wonderful weekend, a wonderful Mother's Day if you celebrate Mother's Day. If you are having a difficult Mother's Day, I feel for you. I am also in that boat. But my heart goes out to you. Um, we are having a very quiet day at home, which is awesome. And yeah, so happy Mother's Day to you. And I will see all of you next Friday. I'm going to have some cool things to show you next week, and some exclusives you won't find anywhere else on next week's show. So come back here. See all of you next week. Take care. See you later. Bye bye.